Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and run through this. So today, we're going to discuss a few things. As you see, I have a bunch of XX devices laid out. These are not all my XX devices, but there is somebody that's about to buy a handheld, and they're a little torn between these two. So I figured I'd put a bunch of different options out here and kind of gloss over what I think of each of them and get a quick look at them. And of course, they all have something different running on them. These are MuOS, this is stock, and that's newly. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what's going on in kind of the handheld world here. If you guys recall, some time ago, not that long, but still some time qualifies in this context, Retroid released this little teaser picture, okay? And everybody was talking about it. I made a whole video about what upset me about the original Retroid Pocket Flip and kind of went over the whole story about how they screwed me over, okay? And then talked about this new one and how, you know, it looks like it's a redesigned Powkiddy X18. All right. Well, everybody else who makes videos about this stuff, including me, everybody's talking about this one in the background. What is it? What's it going to be? What's this little mystery handheld? Now, when this came out, every YouTuber that does handheld videos launched a video about it, about this picture, and about what they thought. I watched everyone that I normally watch. Now, not all of them, but from what I know, just about every one of them, actually every one of them I watched, said they think this is going to be an SP. You know, making Retroid's version of this. Because, well, Anbernic just, you know, not long ago did their SP. Miyu did the Miyu Flip. So why not? Now, I didn't think that. In my video, I said, I think they're going to do just a small vertical to capitalize on the success of the Trim UI brick. They're going to make this a whole class, like a whole vertical thing. And that spawned some discussion, and some people out there wanted me to know I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and everybody thinks it's an SP, and people with credibility in this department said it's going to be an SP. So yesterday I was going to cover this, but I had something else in mind, so I decided to wait another day. But yeah, here it is. Right here. Big old bag of dicks for you to eat. Anyway, so here you go. They're obviously doing a small vertical like the Trim UI brick to capitalize on the success of that handheld. Yay me. Okay? I got that shit right. All right? Now, I'm going to be the bigger man here. Okay? A lesser man would be all, oh, I told you it was going to be this. And I fucking told you. I said it was going to be that. Ha! Anyway. Okay. Sorry. I'm okay being the lesser. Moving on. I'm just teasing. So, yeah. They're obviously going to do a classic, a small vertical. Sorry. I'm trying to keep all my XX devices from sleeping at the same time. So, we got this little teaser. And over here, they show way more colors and whatnot. Now, originally, in the comments, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, what do you think of it? It looks interesting. They also have a 6-button layout. And I was like, well, no, they don't have a 6-button layout. It's just a 4-button layout. The 6-button is the old, like, original Retroid Pocket. I don't remember what it was called. I was like, so, yeah, it's just a 4-button. And the guy was like, well, no, there's a 6-button. I was like, no, there's no 6-button. It was just a picture of the old one. And I thought he was referring to this post, because if you go down on this post, you got that, you got the picture, and then you got this old guy right here. Okay. In this instance, I was wrong. So feel free to hit my comments, and it's your turn to say, I told you so. Because although this is the old one, right there is the 6 button. I did not see a picture of this 6 button until this morning. Which, I already went back to the comment I made discussing this with the other person and told them, oh shit, nope, you're right. There is a 6 button. To be honest, I'm not feeling that. I don't care about that. That 6 button layout, I am not interested in that 6 button layout, especially in a vertical form factor. This does not look appealing. This looks like absolute trash. And yeah, this was like the 2020 model. Yes, this is a little more updated. It's missing a stick. It looks better than the 2020 model, but I still don't care about that 6 button layout. Okay? I don't play enough shit that needs that 6 button layout at all. The rest of these look awesome. Clearly Game Boy inspired colors. Okay? Or Game Boy Color inspired colors. I guess I could also say just Game Boy. Really digging these green and blue ones right here. I don't have very many transparent handhelds. I got 2 of them on me this morning. And I generally like that atomic purple color. But every time you see it on a page like this and then you get it, it's a way different shade. So it's never what you think it is. So not super interested in that. That cherry one don't look bad. But you know that's going to be more pink. And there's nothing wrong with pink. I'm just not a fan of pink. The retro, of course they got to have the retro color. And although I like two-tone shit, I think if that didn't have green and red buttons, I'd be interested in the yellow and blue, you know, but I don't like the green and red buttons, man. I could have just stuck to all yellow or maybe all blue. All blue buttons would have been cool. I could always pick one up and wait for someone to release a button set or print a button set myself, but these two are where it's at. Now, from what we're seeing on it, you can see, cooling right here, right between the old triggers. So I'm a little worried about the placement of the triggers, kind of the angle and how they're set up. It looks really close to kind of a Miyoo Mini V4. If the triggers aren't really, if that profile is not really pronounced, you know what I mean? And I'm worried about how close to the edge they are, because then we're going to find that V10 kind of thing where having your hands on the side of the handheld accidentally hits the button. So, yeah. Now, the main concern, all right, this is my main concern, and I said it in a comment discussing it yesterday. My overall take of this, I hope they focus and put the most expensive part of this handheld needs to be the screen, okay? They need to do a really good screen, all right? Focus on the screen. Make the screen amazing. All right. Put a really good screen in it. Like, compete with the analog pocket type of screen. You know, get the best screen you can get. As for the SoC, do not put a Snapdragon in this. There's no stick. It's not worth it to jack up the price to have all that power in a handheld that can't utilize it, okay? I hope they don't put anything high-end in it, okay? And no G99 either. I was just discussing this with the sponsor. We both agree. The G99, I'm not a fan of it. It's kind of it's nasty. Don't do that. So no Snapdragon, no G99. I mean, Retroid's going to do what they do, but it'll jack up the price if they throw like a Snapdragon, like the same shit they put in the Retroid Pocket 5 or the Mini. That's a waste. Okay? This is the shit I'm always talking about right here. They are targeting something specific. We have a Game Boy Color-ish layout, excluding the 6 button. Keep it there. Really good screen. We're all okay with it not running PlayStation 2 and GameCube. You're gonna sell them. People will buy them. You do not have to try and overpower this. It does not need to be the INEO DMG. You don't have to do that. If you can get the DMG screen and stick it in that, that'll be worth the price bump. That'll be worth it. I'll give you $100 for that. If you're not going to do that, and we're just going to go with some regular stuff, and you're going to make it on par with the brick, price it on par with the brick. No more than 10, 20 bucks, $10, $20 swing, and you'll be fine. All right. Now that I'm done talking about this for the last 10 damn minutes, tell me what you guys think about it in the comments. How do you feel about it? I hope none of you were yelling at the screen, no, please put a Snapdragon in it, and please let it run PlayStation 2. Don't do that shit. It's a waste. Stop. And a lot of you are probably like, well, I don't think they would waste that or do that knowing it would go to waste. I'm going to refer you to the Retroid Pocket 4 and 4 Pro. Okay? This is kind of a reverse of that. A lot of power in that handheld. Okay? Shitty screen. Okay? Tons of power, shitty screen. Reverse it here. Beautiful screen. Do not need a bunch of power. Put a rock chip in it. Shit. T600 series, you know what I'm saying? Like T618 type of shit. That's fine. You don't even need to do the T820, okay? That'll give us PS2 performance. We don't need it. All right, moving on. So, to the person in my comments, and I try not to call out people and use your actual name, like your screen name, because I don't know how anybody feels about that, and I don't want you to feel like I'm calling you out if it's discussing things. So, not going to say your name, but I do know you are because we talk all the time. You're always in my comments, and I really love how active you are with my community, being part of the Retro Legion. So thank you for that, by the way. I do appreciate how active you are, okay? And you know me. I'm going to answer back every chance I get. Every time I see that you said something, I'm on there answering. All right. So let's discuss. You said you were torn between the 34XX and the SP. Now, I did break out the 40XXV and the Cube. Or wait, was it the Cube in that and 34XX? I may have got that wrong. I think you were between these two, weren't you? Yeah, you were between these two. I apologize. These two, not this one. Doesn't matter. They're all here for comparison. I probably should have went and reread the whole conversation, but I grabbed all these this morning anyway. So where we sit with these, we got a bunch of different layouts, a bunch of different options. We got one stick, two sticks, no stick. Okay. Only one folds. Only one of them has a 1-to-1 screen. Only one of them has a 4-inch screen. Only one of them looks like a GBA. And only one of them looks like a GBA SP. But anyway, moving on. So, this is running MuOS on the Cube. We got MuOS over here on the SP, stock firmware, and then newly. All right. All these are generally priced about the same, depending on where you shop. So, you are talking about these two. Now, in my comment back to you, I said if you're looking at really only doing Game Boy Advance, pick up the 34. Okay? And I stand by that. I love this thing for GBA and Super Nintendo. This has become my favorite GBA and Super Nintendo handheld right here. All right? So if that's all you really want to play on it, that's your goal, absolutely get this. However, the curse of game ADD and not being able to stay on one title long enough makes me want to tell you to get the Cube. Because no matter how much you want to stick to GBA or Super Nintendo or Nintendo, you're going to play probably a PlayStation game. You're going to jump on something else. And that takes us here. Although this screen is not the perfect aspect ratio for Game Boy Advance, you know what I mean? It's not a fair comparison here. It does it fine. It's not bad with GBA at all. Let's pull up a game here. I'm sorry. I have a bad habit of pulling my stuff off screen. I love Breath of Fire. I'm about to get back to some Breath of Fire. I think I'm going to beat Breath of Fire on this handheld. Sorry, I like using Final Fantasy VI for comparisons. All right. Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to beat Breath of Fire. Last night and yesterday, I ran through Metal Gear Solid PS1 on this one. Beat it last night. Had a blast playing it on this 4-inch display. It was fun. All right, this 4-inch screen made that amazing. It was such a good time. All right, so we got this loading up. Let's go. Sorry, I keep pulling shit off screen. It's a habit. I lift it up so I can see it, and then you can't. All right. Damn it. I keep lifting. I'm sorry, as I keep lifting it up. I don't intend to. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played GBA on this device. Let's leave it at that for a minute. Jeez, I gotta comb my hair. Yeah, you kind of know where I'm leaning already on what I'm going to tell you for GBA. No, let's turn those off. Let's go ahead and stretch the ever-living shit out of it. Okay, that's a little better. All right, what do you think about that? I'm trying to help you decide here. And the only reason I'm focusing on GBA right now is because you brought in the 34XX. So if you're thinking about the 34XX, you're obviously playing a lot of GBA games. See, on the cube stretched out like that, it doesn't look bad. It's not going to be like pixel perfect, but it's also not going to suck. It's perfectly playable, and it doesn't cause me any problems. You got a little bit, like black bar on the top here, a little black bar on the bottom, and this is what I set up, 8x7 here, so I'm trying to use as much of the screen real estate that I can. So, but overall, this still looks better for GBA. Alright? So if that's what you're going to go for, how come I can't actually have that set up to do that? But here's our difference. Super Nintendo looks about the same when you compare them between the two. I think I put it. Yeah, okay. I put a couple on here for comparison. Ooh. Damn it. It's amazing how quickly I forget how I... Oh, wait. Oh my god, I forgot I set all that up like that. Now I got screenshots. What the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, overlay. All right. I think I already have this one set up. Yeah, I do. So, PS1, Breath of Fire 3. This is gonna take it for that, and clearly it's gonna. I mean, it has the sticks. The face buttons are actually oriented in a way that PlayStation is not uncomfortable. Whereas with this one, look at the layout of the buttons. Just that alone is the game changer for this. Okay, if you go to play GBA on this is fine. This is okay. You're all right with this. It feels natural. You play GBA on this, it's a little more laid out to the side and feels even more natural, but you can't really tell the difference between the two when you're actually playing the game. You'll correct automatically for that little bit of adjustment, or that adjustment needed for this type of layout. However, when you jump on PlayStation, I mean, look at this. That's going to be really weird to work with. That being X, that being triangle, that being square, that being circle. I mean, it's right next to each other, but I guarantee at certain points you're going to fuck up and hit the wrong button. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind before you purchase. So now, just kind of throwing in these two right here. I've really enjoyed the 40XXV the last couple days. Game Boy Color, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, all of it looks great, runs great. It's amazing. Okay, I'm really, really liking this. The SP. Some of you may think I kind of trash the SP, or the anbernic 35XX SP. I don't. Okay, I do like this device a lot. All right, and a lot of people probably thought this would have been my pick for best XX device of 2024, but it was the Cube. And there's a few reasons why I did not pick this as the best XX of 2024. I like it. I love the clamshell design. They did this great. Anbernic did this perfect, okay? Don't need sticks, personally, because, I mean, it's designed to be a Game Boy Advance SP. I don't need sticks, all right? I can pick up a vertical with a stick. I don't need sticks, because this is all this is essentially a vertical that you fold up, all right? So, I know you did theirs with sticks, but you can't get the hinge right, and that's going to be a problem. They're all going to shatter and break. Anbernic, you did great with the hinge. No problems here. This is good stuff. All right, I love it. Now, the reason I didn't pick it, all right, ergonomically, it's a little off for me. Right now, holding it, I've been holding it for maybe a minute. No problem. No issues. I feel like I can play for hours on this. Okay. Now, in just a little bit of time, that's going to hurt. It's not the device's fault. It's how I hold it. Okay? That's why I never named this as my top XX device. Other than that, I love it. Out of all my handhelds, if I had to pick one handheld to take with me for a day or a couple days, and I didn't have room to put it in a case or throw it in a bag, and I just had to pocket it and go with it, I'm obviously going to take this. It'll be the most protected, just thrown in my pocket. I'll feel the most comfortable with this. I know not one of my handhelds do I just throw in a pocket and go about my day. No, I spent too much money on these things. I'm not trying to fuck them up. All right? So that's just quick comparison for you on these two. The 40XXV and the 35XX SP. I know these weren't really factors Just something to think about. So back to your purchase problem. You're not sure which one to get, the Cube or the 34XX. They're both nice horizontal handhelds. One of them has sticks, one of them does not. One of them is more oriented towards Game Boy Advance button layout. The other one is a little more standard. So now when it comes to the overall handheld, the Cube XX is the most comfortable XX device that has been made. There is nothing as comfortable as this device at all. This whole grip and that texture right here is nice. The texture on the triggers over here, really nice. This was an amazing handheld for them. They did such a great job with this device that this should have ended the XX line. They could get rid of most of the XX line and just keep this, and this does it. Okay. I mean, of course they can't get rid of these two. These are their Game Boys, right? But yeah, if you're between them, man, it all comes down to what you're gonna play. Okay. That's what it's gonna come down to is what you're gonna play the most. If you're gonna play, and you know for sure, okay, this isn't a guess, this isn't just a plan, you know for sure, because you already do it, that you're mainly going to play Game Boy Advance, get this. If you're going to play anything else, anything at all, okay, and yes, I'm counting Super Nintendo too. Super Nintendo looks great on here. But if you're going to play anything else, get the Cube. All right? The Cube has it ergonomically. It's the best. I like the layout of everything. I like the D-pad in its position up here. I don't use the sticks very often for older games. I mean, just if I'm, movement on like an RPG, I can take one hand away and I got that control. I mean, I got MuOS running on it, so I really don't think... And I answered somebody before saying, no, this doesn't have Bluetooth because of, MuOS. But honestly, I never really looked. That was just off of memory, but no. Okay, so we lose that whole Bluetooth functionality off of this. And then this being stock, I actually don't remember. Sorry. I don't ever use Bluetooth. There it is. So, yeah, this being stock, we'll keep that Bluetooth functionality. And a lot of these, I mean, if you go with Newly, I believe Newly has Bluetooth. Yeah, right there. Okay. So, yeah, if you go with MuOS, you're not really going to get Bluetooth. You go with stock or Newly, you get Bluetooth. And honestly, I might start leaning towards Newly. I never really tested Newly before, and getting this one with Newly on it, gotta say, it's kind of an eye-opener. I really dig how well Portmaster runs on this. And I normally go with MuOS because Portmaster has better compatibility, or at least did have better compatibility with Portmaster. So, but that's also another thing right there that'll help make your opinion. If you're only gonna pick one of these, this will be better for Portmaster, if you're interested in that. Once again, if you're focused on Game Boy Advance only, go ahead, pick up the 34XX. If you're playing anything else, get the Cube. Best Pico 8 machine, great for PS1, great for Portmaster, most comfortable. I mean, this has so much kind of above this, honestly, that I got to tell you, get the Cube. Okay, yeah, just get the Cube, man. You may have already pulled the trigger on the 34, and the 34 is amazing. I love it. The Cube still wins it. All right, guys, I'm going to stop just droning on and on about this shit. Really, this video probably didn't do anything for most of you. It was mainly to discuss the Retroid Classic and help one of my viewers with their decision-making process. For the rest of you that did stay and watch this go on and you were able to bear it, thank you. Now, seeing this laid out, if any of you want a comparison, have any questions about any of these devices, remember I still have like a 35XXH sitting at the house. I forgot to grab it. It's newer. I have found myself not even touching the damn thing. Yeah, the 35XXH and the 40XXH just really aren't appealing at all. Yeah, the Cube wins. Anyway, but if you have any questions, if you want to see some comparisons, let me know. Let me know what you think. Ask away, really. And honestly, the way it stands with these XX devices, only if you're going to play a shit ton of GBA, get this. Okay? And I hate to say that. I do. I hate to say that about this device because I love this device. I think it's great. But I can't tell any of my viewers to pick this over, well, any of these. This has one use case, really. I mean, yeah, Super Nintendo looks good on it, but that goes for the rest of those too. Yeah, only if you're playing GBA, get this. Actually, now I'm starting to feel like I'm just going to erase everything off my SD card and just only put GBA on this at this point. So yeah, if you're doing anything else, this is right here. This covers your bases for all of it. Kind of makes me want to get the Big Brother Cube, you know what I mean? But honestly, I don't think I want to play PS2 and GameCube on a 1-to-1 screen. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. Tonight, I do have a viewer waiting for me to do some things on my tablet I use for emulation. I'm going to try and tackle that tonight for you. If you're watching this, if you're still here, I'm going to get on that and see what I can do for PS2 GameCube performance to see if I can't get it to function a little bit better. So hopefully tomorrow morning I'll have a video for you on that if it goes well. If it does not go well, you're going to get an apology in the middle of my video tomorrow. So hope you guys have a good Thursday. The way my Thursday is looking, it shouldn't be too bad. Mondays and Thursdays at my office they're good days. The guy who owns the company is called Chris, and we like to call these days Chrisless. So on the first day of Chrisless. Anyway, we have fun with it. He's a great guy. I love working for him. We actually don't care when he's around. We don't mind him being there. He's not like that type of boss, but he's awesome. He knows I shoot here. He loves it. He actually donated a shelf to my channel for me to continue setting up my home studio for live sessions. So he just gave me like $150 shelf. Doesn't really match the aesthetic of my home, but whatever. I appreciate it. I'm going to use it. I like the fact that he would donate something to my channel. All right, guys, hopping off of here. Once again, have a good Thursday. If you have any questions, comments, if you want to discuss anything at all, get in the comments. I'll discuss it with you. As other viewers have found out, you can absolutely have the opposite opinion of me, and you can argue with me all you want, and I will jump in and fight back, and if I lose, I lose, whatever. That's what it's about. We can discuss it. Let's have some fun. The only time I'm going to actually get pissed off and remove your comment is if you say some of the stupid shit that I really can't stand. And there's only been one comment I removed. So, see you guys tomorrow morning in the next video. Later.